The Herald's Guidance. The rule of the gods had ended, and humans had ruled the earth for many ages. Though many gods had fled, many people continued to believe that the gods watched over the world, even as their visages changed. In a remote domain on a distant continent, gods had long been worshipped by the people living there. It was a god that spread its wings and emitted a blinding light from their entire body, the Herald. Among those living there, a few have seen or even heard the voice of the Herald. Though their depictions differed, they insist they'd seen the Herald. The atmosphere about it and its afterglow was precisely that of an angel they'd pictured in their minds, they told. And according to those who'd heard its voice, it hadn't actually made a sound. The meaning of the words came not through their ears, but directly into their minds, they told. And when asked if they'd seen or heard the Herald, their replies were eerily consistent. It was always in moments of confession that it appeared. All assert they fainted soon after, but awoke with a comforting feeling of forgiveness throughout their bodies. Some find it hard to believe these people's stories. Nonetheless, the Herald is worshipped by many people. In the frontier, the Herald is enshrined in a temple. As for when this temple was constructed, nobody knows. It is old but well maintained, and has a sacred, solemn atmosphere about it. However, depending on who you ask, the structure may have an unusual aura about it. It appears not to have been built as a place of worship, but to contain something, merely covered up as a shrine. The central part is hidden, and it's said there are gods' statues inside. And into the inner sanctum, only a select few priests or diviners are allowed. The diviner of the Herald, the person who receives the oracle from the Herald. She claims that from a certain age, she began to hear the voice. After many trials and tests, a priest determined that the voice she heard belonged to the Herald. This diviner is not one who commands the people. Her role is to correctly decipher the oracles for people and protecting them from natural disaster. Her resolute power and connection with people had helped pass along to future generations her role of diviner. And one girl will continue as the new diviner to connect people with the gods. Subscribe.